Alright people, Mike Alden here again. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be my Platinum Trophy journey for Death Stranding, the Director's Cut. I Platinumed the original game back in 2019 when it first came out. Had a great time with it. I know a lot of people kind of put off by the design, the slow-paced design of this game. And they don't like really the mechanics or whatever and all the walking around. But I had a great time. So when I had the chance to get the director's cut for a pretty decent price, I was like, yeah, I want to platinum that again and see what's different in this edition. And see if like they made the game any easier or whatever. Because I know a lot of people, they find the first sort of 10 hours really hard because you don't have a lot of equipment yet. You don't have the bike or any vehicles, and a lot of people just bounce off in these first like early areas. And I wanted to see if anything really changed that would get more people into the game or whatever. I think Death Stranding did build up its audience over the years, and it's a lot more popular now than when it first came out. I think it found the audience it was looking for after a little while. So yeah, let's get into these trophies. I've let a few go past without speaking on them, but they were sort of just basic ones for like delivering a package or whatever. That trophy was for getting a like from BB for the first time. Soothing sounds. This is another basic one. Just listen to any song in the music player in Sam's private room. Pretty simple one. Think most people could get that. Like and be liked. I think that's for giving a like to the first structure or sign that you run into. Another pretty easy one. The game at the start, they really give you like so many trophies for just doing very basic things. It makes you feel like you're making a lot of progress early on. And I think Kojima probably set up his team to like put a lot of easy trophies in the first sort of areas, so people who are trophy hunters will get invested. That they got so many trophies really early on. I couldn't hold it in. That of course is for letting Sam go to the bathroom out in the world somewhere, and he can grow a mushroom if he uses the same location to relieve himself. Pretty funny. Prominent Porter, I think that's just for getting your first new title from leveling up your different skills. Building bridges, again, I think that's for helping somebody or get a bridge link to level up, maybe. Get that skill to go up. Getting liked by another player, maybe. A new day for the UCA. I think that's just for connecting the first outpost into the network or whatever. Of course, the more outposts you connect, the more structures you can build. And by the end game, you really do want everybody connected so that you can place as many zip lines as you want all over the map. And it really feels so satisfying to have like a zip line network that just takes you to all these like out of the way preppers and outposts and makes the end game delivery so easy. Shout in the dark, I think that was just for calling out to someone as Sam when you're wandering around and getting a reply for the first time. Well connected, yeah, I think that's for getting a uh, outpost to level 3, I guess. Thirst for knowledge, yeah, this one, it's just for getting one of the memory cards, or memory shards or whatever they're called, that have various, they're like the little collectible in the game that have various different types of data on them about movies and pop culture things that Kojima likes, really. The People's Porter, I think that was for delivering to the first prepper, was it? There's so many of these trophies that I've forgotten some of them. Custom Kid, again, yeah, I think that's for unlocking your first, like, your first customized like structure item or whatever, like a hologram or whatever for one of the structures. Boots are a porter's best friend. That's just for changing your boots for the first time. You actually don't have to worry about that as much as some people would think after you get like a few good unlocks for the tougher boots. You don't have to change them that often. I know a lot of people get like sort of turned off by like these survival mechanics, but it really isn't a big deal by like a few hours into the game when you get like the first other set of boots that you can develop. Sleep tight, little BB. This is for calming down BB if they start crying. You just shake your controller. The motion sensor in the controller rocks the baby and makes Lou calm down. Snooze and soothe, I think it's just for going to sleep for the first time out in the wilderness. It's pretty funny, you can sit down anywhere and Sam can fall asleep and regain some stamina or whatever. Helping Hand, that was for just requesting my first supply request. You can get other players to send you like 10 ladders or whatever other bit of equipment you need. It could take a little while for them to deliver, but it is worth it to set up a few requests at most outposts, and then take a break from the game and come back, and there's a good chance your orders will have been fulfilled by another player. Pumped Porter, I think that's again just for leveling up to Elite Mover, I would guess, or getting everything to level 10 maybe. Well Traveled, I think that's for running a certain distance, like 100 km or whatever. Catcher Crusher, that was just for beating the first like BT boss that Higgs summons or whatever. That's part of the story, you can't really miss that one. We need you, I think that might have been a story one actually, just for completing this part of the story once you get to Lake Knot City. Could be wrong, but I think that's what that was. Delivery's done. I think was that for getting this outpost to the maximum 5 stars, or maybe that was for getting a certain amount of deliveries. Pathfinder, this was for basically clearing out a mule camp for the first time, and then letting other porters be able to safely travel through there. And with the little lightning gun, as I've been calling it, that you get in the Director's Cut, it's really quite easy to clear out the mules early on. I think in the original game you didn't get a like defensive weapon for a little bit longer, but they give you the little lightning gun straight away in Death Stranding, the Director's Cut. Soak and Sigh, again, that's just for finding a little hot spring and having a bath in it for the first time. Oh yeah, this is any porter in a storm. This is just for trading an item with a porter. They'll basically, if you go up to them and give them a like, they'll offer you a bit of equipment. And Sam can collect that for himself, and then you have to drop something for them that they can collect. It's just basically having a little trade with one of the porters. The world's most popular porter, I guess that's for getting a certain amount of likes. However many I'd achieved at that point in the game. Also the automation revolution, I think that's when you deploy one of the little robots that can help you for the first time. They're really not that useful because they always mess up their deliveries and get like a C grade or a B grade if you're lucky. Hooked on delivering, I think that was for delivering like 700 packages or something. If you just do every delivery you encounter, you'll get that pretty early on. I guess I just left in this little clip for some reason. I guess something amusing happens here. See, some of this footage, I can't remember why I saved it, and I just put it all together in my editing. Oh yeah, it's when I ran out of battery right next to this generator that I'd placed here earlier. And I guess I just thought that was funny that I was so lucky that I built that there earlier. And it was my bike just managed to limp across to it. Public service porter, that's just for throwing away a destroyed package into the lake of tar so it can disintegrate in there or whatever. You can pick up destroyed packages near the junk yard, the junk dealer or whatever his name is, and then just carry it over to the lake and throw it in there. The past guides, the present. That's just for reading like 100 emails or something. I think. I won't break. I think that's part of the story again. Just completing Fragile's chapter. I think. Could be wrong about that, but I think that's what that was. Let's see, BB. That might have been part of the story too. Just completing that escape the battlefield, where you fight Cliff for the first time. So another little clip I left in here. I think this was when I had too much cargo for one truck. So I loaded all of it into the first truck, and then the little other bit I had to carry, I put into the second truck. And I just pushed this truck the whole way to like the next delivery center. Really stubborn move, but yeah, just one of the like strange things that I did during this game, and I thought I would leave it in. You need extreme patience to do stupid stuff like this, but I prefer doing this than like building two carriers, floating carriers, and walking through the area that I would have to walk through to get to the film director or whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna show the whole journey, but I had built the road at this time, so wasn't that bad to push this truck to the next distro center. And yeah, I just left that in because I thought it was funny that I spent time doing that. Birth of a Legend, I think that's for getting 20 Legend of Legends ranks on various orders. You have to put the game on hard to get that ranking. But yeah, it's not too bad. The game doesn't get too hard even when you do put up the difficulty like that. And Great Deliverer, that's for like unlocking the highest title possible. The Great Deliverer, getting all your stats up to level 60, I think. We're whole again. I think that was part of the story, just delivering stuff to Mama's lab for the first time. Again, I think most people will get that if they follow the story. Rest in Pieces. I think this is just for using the weapon Mama gave you to cut an umbilical cord of a BT for the first time. You have to sneak up on them and not get noticed, and then you can just cut one of their cords. Master Builder, I think that's for building one of every type of equipment. And the last one I had to do, I think it was a, what do you call them, a slingshot or a cargo slingshot or whatever you call it, cargo cannon maybe. And then you have to upgrade every item to maximum as well, and I think that was the Trailblazer trophy, because I put the cargo catapult, that's the correct name of it, cargo catapult up to level 3. Growth of a Legend, again, that's for getting another 20 Legends of Legends rankings on one of every type of delivery, I'm pretty sure. Again, you have to be on hard to get those S ranks and whatever. The Legend of Legends difficulties. I think that was another story trophy there. And yeah, I think this was another story trophy for escaping from another battlefield for the second fight with Cliff. Again, if you're following the story, you'll just get that one, no trouble. Childminder, I think that's for getting a full like 5-star connection level with Lou. I just managed to get that when I was on this, zip line for some reason. And let's see, 60 deaths and 60 births. Yeah, again, that's part of the story, just getting to that Edge Knot city terminal. Oh yeah, this is the fight with Higgs. A pretty entertaining boss fight because you don't have any weapons, so you just have to pick up bits of cargo and toss it at him. Thought it was a pretty cool fight, so I'm just leaving in some of my footage with it. Kojima always did have like interesting boss fights, and I know it's pretty funny that you end up just tossing cargo at this guy, and that's how you beat him, or at least that's how I beat him anyway in my run. Particle God. Again, that was just for defeating Hicks, really. Again, most people will get that if they follow the story right up to the end. And the next one is In Sam We Trust. I think that was for getting everybody connected to the network, just all the preppers and everybody. Let's see, Homo Faber. Yeah, that was for creating one of every type of equipment. All the skeletons, all the weapons, just all the gear that you can fabricate. You just have to make one of all of them. The God Particle Go-Getter, that was for just entering Higgs's room when you unlock the final bunker. You basically get into his little base and you can look around his room and find all the crazy stuff he wrote on the walls. But to unlock that, you had to deliver him a pizza, and this is just my journey of bringing him the pizza because I thought it was interesting to see if this tactic still worked. I think there's a video still on my channel from my original playthrough where I showed the zipline network I built to deliver Higgs his pizza really quickly. Obviously, you have to be at the first prepper to accept this, and then just set up as many zip lines as you can. A lot of other players have zip lines set up, so sometimes you'll get lucky and there'll be one when you connect online in that area. There should be one or two useful zip lines that someone else has built, and then you can just add your own into the network and build it out in whatever direction you need to go in. You should obviously scout ahead your route before you take the order, just to make sure you've set everything up correctly, and take a load of fabricating items with you, so you can build more zip lines if you need to. And this is probably one of the last things you should do in the game, because at this point you'll have leveled up every prepper, every outpost, all the distro centers, and you'll have unlocked the maximum bandwidth for the chiral network. And at that point you can really build as many structures as you need to, really. And if you don't have enough bandwidth, you can get rid of some old bridges or old generators or things that you don't think you'll be using again on this current playthrough, and then just put up all these zip lines, and you can really just get from one end of the map to the other really quickly. And Higgs can get his pizza in about 5 minutes. And just be careful if you have to go through a mule area or a BT area, because if you end up going too close to the ground, I think the BTs can still touch Sam or whatever, and it can summon all the tar, and it'll force him to jump off the zip line, I think. Because that happened in another area where I went too close to the ground in a BT zone while on a zip line, and Sam just jumped off the zip line, and I had to fight this BT. But I will say that will likely only happen if you're in the very end of the game, when the sky's all green and everything like this. And I probably should have continued on and finished the story fully first before stopping at the first prepper to do this. But I kind of just like doing things as soon as they were available. So yeah, that's why the sky's all green and everything in this video, because I did the last pizza delivery before I finished the main story. And this was happening just after I'd defeated Higgs previously. And yeah, it's probably one of the longer zipline networks in the game that you need to build. The first prepper and all the way over to Peter Englart or whatever Higgs' cover name was. Whatever he was called himself while he was hiding out in this little base over here. But yeah, the zipline really trivializes some of the harder journeys you would have to make in the game. But you do have to go out of your way to build it first. You do have to travel to all these areas on foot, or with the bike and scout out this route. So it still is a bit of a challenge. It's just you only have to be challenged in that area the first time you go there, and then once you've set up a network of zip lines, it's gonna really make your life easier whenever you have to deliver a lot of stuff. Uh, so the zipline network had to end here because we ran out of chiral coverage because Higgs's building, which is a little way over there, probably skipped this little walking part. And yeah, we could finally connect him to the network, and we got there in about 5 minutes, so it was pretty decent. And of course, she got the trophy for delivering the final pizza once you did this. And this was also the place where I, finally got the trophy for getting 5 stars with every prepper. This guy, Higgs, doesn't let it go up until this final pizza. And yeah, best beloved, that is the trophy for 5-starring every outpost. Last guy I had to do actually was the veteran porter, I guess. I guess I went to Higgs's before I did him. Past guides, the present. That was just for reading like 100 interviews. You unlock a lot of them through the story, and if you just read them as they come up, you'll probably do that before the end of the story. I'm your diehard man. That was part of the story too, I think, just for completing the Die Hardman chapter. I think that's chapter 10 or so. The next few trophies should all be story related ones, I think. Bring back my baby again. That's just for fighting Cliff for the final time. Escaping the final battlefield in Vietnam. Pretty cool sequence. She's waiting for you on the beach again. Another story one. I think that was for delivering Fragile her food that she needed. Those little bugs that everyone eats. Thank you, Sam. I think again this was part of the story. Just for going to the beach and seeing Amelie or whatever. And then, of course, the final delivery you have to make at the end of the game. Full spoilers, of course. Is you have to deliver Lou to the crematorium or whatever it's called. And I just stopped off on the way there to have a little quiet moment on this hill and just play the little tune on the harmonica that Lou likes one last time. Of course, they're not moving this time, and just thought it would be a nice little thing to do. Just a nice little moment. And I do like that Kojima puts this kind of things into his game, where you can just sit down and play a harmonica just to relax and get some stamina back. And I just like doing this little ritual whenever it's time to say goodbye to Lou. Of course, there is a little twist coming up once we get in there, and it turns out Lou's actually okay. But at the time, you don't know that the first time you're coming up to this crematorium. And I thought it would be nice to, like, Sam would probably do something like this, where he would play the little tune that Cliff was always whistling, or singing to him. So yeah, just a nice little moment there. I just left in this footage because, I don't know, I kind of think that these little moments really sum up Death Stranding. These little quiet, contemplative moments in nice environment. And yeah, you just make your way to the crematorium, and then you will get our final couple of story trophies once we're in there. There's a lot of cutscenes and stuff coming up, of course, after this, but I'll skip through all those because I think we don't really need to see all those. Of course, the end credits played then, and I think this was my final overall rating. So yeah, tumbles taken. I fell 9 times after playing for like 120 hours. People meme this game a lot and say all you do is fall over and it's so hard, and Yeah, I don't really understand those complaints because I only fell 9 times in 120 hours. But yeah, that was all my stats. And then, of course, I got the Thanks for Everything trophy. That was for completing the final, just the final chapter, chapter 14. And then I think I had a couple more trophies to get. Font of Knowledge, yeah, this was actually the final trophy. It was just go back and get the last few memory shards, or whatever you want to call them, and just unlock those. And then I also got the Platinum Trophy, the greatest of great deliverers. Yeah, I had a great time replaying this, and it's a really fun Platinum Trophy, and I can't wait for Death Stranding 2.